Hello, friends, and welcome to week 4 of Starry Bandit Comics Top 3 New Comic Book Covers of the Week. Alright, appreciate everybody joining me this week. First of all, I want to give a little reminder, maybe if you didn't happen to catch last week's episode, that's okay. We're going to start off with our new inaugural crown winner from last week. All right, because we got to set up some stakes in this show, right? There's no villain, so to speak. This is a gladiator type of situation. So last week, our number one issue was, you guessed it, Minky Woodcock's A Girl Named Cthulhu, number 1, sketch variant. And this comic book cover was so good that it has the crown. All right. So what are we doing? Only one comic book can have the crown at any one time. All right. So this week we are going to have top 3 new comic book covers with perhaps an honorable mention, as we always do. At least 5. This week just one. I promise. You just have to sit through this intro first. But just one honorable mention. So this one, we have to see, is the number 1 book this week going to be better than the current crown holder? I don't know. We're going to find out. Anyway, okay. Let's get to our first honorable mention of the week. Now this one, as soon as I saw it, in comic book form, knew I had to have it. It's a movie that I have yet to see because I have a small child and it's not so easy to get to the movies these days. 2 other children too, but the small child is the one that makes it more difficult. Even though she's the best and I love her. Alien Romulus, number 1, photo variant. We've all seen the picture. Even if you haven't seen the movie, I don't know about you guys, but for a while I was turning my TV on, and this is the picture that I would see, as would my daughter. But I exposed her to, I think, all of the Alien movies pretty much when she was less than 6 months old, and she was fine. So maybe kind of indoctrinate her a little bit. She does get very excited going to the comic book shop every week, so we're getting, we have some good mojo going here. But anyway, love this cover, love the picture, it's iconic. I heard the movie has a little bit of mixed reviews. I'm actually relatively newer to the Alien franchise. I'm obviously a huge nerd and have watched most of the sci-fi nerdy movies, big franchise movies, etc. But for some reason, the Alien series had just kind of I'd set them aside for a long time. So just in the last year or so is when I watched most of them. I had ironically seen, I think, Covenant when it came out, and what was the one with Michael Fassbender? Is that Covenant? I can't remember. I saw that one too. But anyway, I went back and watched that. And so I'm very excited to watch this movie when it comes out at home, hopefully on one of the streaming services that I pay for. Or somebody else pays for. But anyway, love the cover. Had to get the comic. So that's our first and only honorable mention this week. And now we get to the main course after our appetites. Our 3 top new comic covers of the week. We start with number 3. Okay. This one, another number 1. Actually, all 4 covers this week, including the honorable mention, are number 1 issues. And the crown holder is a number 1 issue. So I'm sensing a theme here. But obviously sometimes they do go all out a little bit more. More variant covers for number 1 issues. They figure it's going to sell better. Usually it does. And so apparently they're on the comic industry is on a little bit of a streak here. What is kind of neat though is that of the three covers, we have one Marvel cover, one DC cover, and one indie cover. Not necessarily in that order, but we're spreading the wealth a little bit. All right. So first up, number 3, top new comic cover of the week is Iron Man #1, Scotty Young variant. Soak it in. Now, Scotty Young, great artist. Happened to meet him at Terrificon this year, and he signed some comics for me. In fact, one of them is up for sale. It's a Twig set. He signed #1 for me. Claim if you're interested. But Scotty Young, I have a little bit of a love meh relationship. Not love hate. I don't hate anything he does. He's very creative. He's fun. I love his style. That said, I have felt like for a little while. Now, don't shoot me here. Just the messenger. He was getting a little unoriginal, stale maybe. It's kind of, you did the big Marvel series, which were fine. They're cute. Spider Gwen's one of my favorite characters. I I had him sign Spider Gwen for me, the big Marvels issue, because I love it. But I think when Scotty's at his best, he's not just making a cutesy character, or even a cutesy characters that are talking to each other with speech bubbles. It's setting a scene. It's you know, it's like a little snapshot of a moment or a diorama or something. Um, yes, I did just use the word diorama in 2024 as an old man, we'll say. But this one, he's getting back to that kind of cover. You got Tony Stark working on his new suit. Supposedly, it's kind of a more brutal story of Iron Man going on, and I love it. Using the Iron Man faceplate as his protective cover. It's really really well done, and as I've been seeing as issues have been coming up, either on my feed or on FOC to order, um, he's getting a little bit more into that. He's doing like the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man coming up, and they're all you know cool little ways for Spider-Man to potentially meet his end. But number 3 comic cover of the week, Scotty Young's Iron Man #1 variant. All right, number 2. Now, this week I have to say it was really tough to pick #1, #2. I do feel confident in the choice, but this cover, honestly, when I ordered it, it was just because of the cover. Well, I'll get to a second reason why also, but just because of the cover. And then I read it today, and let me just share what it is first. Okay. Number 2 comic cover of the week, Godzilla's Monsterpiece Theater cover by Tom Scioli, who is also the writer of the book. This is obviously a Fantastic Four #1 homage. We get Godzilla, we get The Great Gatsby, Sherlock Holmes, Time Machinist. Also in this book, Thomas Edison, Jules Verne. We have Sherlock Watson. It's such a fun read. It feels so original, while also harkening back to all of our days in school reading classic literature. And the art is excellent. I was very impressed. Now, the reason why I ordered it was, one, because I just saw the cover and thought I needed to get it. Two, my wife happens to be a huge Godzilla fan. And yes, in the last year, we have watched all of the Godzilla movies twice over. Except for Godzilla -1. It took a long time for it to get to streaming. Again, small child, subtitles doesn't really match very well. So we still need to watch that one, which I'm very excited to do. But that said, um, this is just excellent cover, excellent comic. I can't recommend it more to read. And I thought it was maybe just a one shot, but as I read, it's at least a limited series. I'm guessing that's what it's gonna be, but it's very fun. Gotta say, go pick it up at your local comic shop. All right, you know the drill. I had to go quieter because the baby's room is right up here. But we have our number one comic book cover of the week. Also, as stated previously, a number one issue. Also, gorgeous. Questionable. Are we going to anoint a new crown holder just 1 week after the inaugural crown holder? We'll find out. Here it is. Absolute Wonder Woman number one, Jeff DeCal variant. Dramatic pull away. That might have been too quiet for you to hear, but I said dramatic pull away. Anyway, Absolute Wonder Woman number one. Obviously, DC right now, they're doing the all in event, so to speak. Absolute Batman number one was amazing a couple weeks ago. We showed that. We showed that. I showed that. We at Starry Bandit Comics we say we. It's the royal we, but whatever. That's fine. And I do love the A cover, which I do have, but not here. Um, but this Jeff DeCal cover is just a work of art. I love the mixing of styles. You have these like a little bit more cartoony skulls with just the 3D imagery of Wonder Woman, the just shapes and graphics in the background, the birds, the colors. I love this tattoo that Absolute Wonder Woman has. Now I've not read this number one issue yet. I read the All In series. I mean, yeah, the All In series. I read Absolute Batman number one. I'm looking forward to read this one, maybe even tonight. Um, and honestly, I know people are in love with Jeff DeCal. I appreciate him and I like a lot of his artwork, but I would not say that whenever I see a DeCal cover that's the one I have to have. But when I ordered this one, I had a feeling this would be number one this week, and turns out that was correct. So let's recap. Number three, Iron Man number one, Scotty Young variant. Number two, Godzilla's Monsterpiece Theater, featuring time machinists, The Great Gatsby, and Sherlock Holmes, among others. And this is by Tom Scioli. And our number one comic book issue comic cover of the week, Absolute Wonder Woman number one. And now, the question. We're going to let the audience decide here. Who holds the crown? Is it Minky Woodcock, the girl named Cthulhu? Honestly, we might just have to keep it just because I have to keep saying that. Absolute Wonder Woman number one. Some similarities, black and white, beautiful drawings of female characters. What are we gonna do? Let me hear it. Oh. I think there's a clear winner. holding the belt, the crown, Minky Woodcock's. Minky Woodcock, A Girl Named Cthulhu, #1. So we have a crown winner still, crown holder. It was a valiant effort by Absolute Wonder Woman #1. We are going to keep our crown winner from last week. Thank you for joining me. Keep a lookout for more posts. I'll see you next week with the comic book covers of the week for next week. And hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for watching.